One of the most conspicuous parts of the locomotive we built to date is the Smokebox, which has been partially sponsored by a very generous donation from the Gresley Society, which in turn had become from a bequest that they had received. This enabled us to bring forward the construction of the Smokebox considerably in advance of the original plan. And the Smokebox is by far and away the most conspicuous and unique feature of the locomotive, with this very distinctive slope back to the smokebox door and the cut-off top and the shapely smoke lifting plates on either side. The actual construction of the smokebox has proved to be a significant challenge, as the complex shape of it, both at the front end and in cross-section, it's approximately egg-shaped, means it's considerably more difficult to make than the Smokebox for Tornado, which is just a plain cylindrical shape. If you look at the front of the locomotive here, you will see that with the sloping back of the Smokebox door, there are now a series of interesting angles and intersections of sheets of metal and of other shapes, which means that this is a far from straightforward manufacturing process. In the first instance, we had to work out how to make the door frame, which, because it is D-shaped, can't be simply machined on a vertical borer as you would normally have done in days gone by. In practice, this door frame has been CNC machined out of a piece of 80mm thick boilerplate. The Smokebox door itself here has also proved to be a significant challenge to make, because with its cut-off top and consequent flaring of the main shape into the straight edge at the top, doing this by what would be the traditional, possibly traditional method of cutting and shutting, in other words making a circular door, cutting the top off and then doing a lot of cutting and welding to get the finished shape, was fraught with difficulty. This is very much the face of the engine, and it's important that it looks correct. So in the end, after looking at several alternatives, we commissioned the South Devon Railway Engineering Company to make a pressing, a hot pressing, using male and female press tools and their 600-ton boiler press. A further complication arising from the fact that the whole Smokebox door leans backwards is that the two hinges are distinctly different shapes, as you can see from the areas where they join onto the hinge pin. The hinge pin has to be vertical, otherwise the door would be too heavy to open. The distinctive Smokebox dart here, which is actually the device that holds the Smokebox door shut, was the very first component we made with the assistance of James May from Top Gear. The chimney has also been an interesting exercise to manufacture. Most locomotive chimneys can be made with a half pattern and a half core for the middle, just making two of each items. But because this chimney is not symmetrical in both directions, we've had to make a full pattern for it, which was around about £7,500 worth, followed by a casting for about £1,300 and £800 worth of machining to finish it. One of the earliest things that was sponsored for the locomotive was the whistle, and this is a replica of the original pre-war chime whistle that was fitted to the A4 Pacifics as well as to the P2 class.